What's up, world? Lee here with Sticks, Strings, and Other Things, my teeny tiny little corner of the internet where I come to you every other week to chit-chat with you about all of the crafty things that I have been getting my hands onto. This is being filmed on January 20th, 2026, and this is episode 123. Welcome. If you are new here, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for checking me out. Hope you enjoy. If you are returning, thank you for staying around. I very much appreciate you. I don't always say this, but as always in my head, if you have any questions or if I'm not clear about anything, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to explain things in better words than me without notes, basically. Feel free to ask. It's all good. Let us start with the weather. I am coming to you from a very, right now, foggy-ish kind of Pacific Northwest. But we have had sunshine of late. The sun has been out. It has been clear skies. It's very strange in January to see the giant glowing orb. But we have been. I don't quite know what to do with it. It's very strange. But right now, we have fog. So I thought it appropriate to drink my fog cutter tea from Plum Deluxe. Made sense in my brain. And the giant kitty mug because I read the news this morning. I need kitties for comfort. Oh, it's a really good tea. It's a nice black tea. If you care. It is Assam Melody Tea, Cumin Concerto Tea, Yunnan Jig Tea, Ceylon Sonata Tea. We've got a whole orchestra here at this point, and some lemon peel. So, a whole bunch of different types of black teas, and a little bit of lemon peel. Delicious. I need nothing else in this because, well, I don't tend to adulterate my tea, but this one really doesn't need it. So good. Love tea. Now let's get into the real reason you're here. What have I been working on? Well, I've kind of been all over the place in the last couple of weeks. I did learn one thing. If you watched my plans video, at the very end of it, I was like, oh, and I'll do some temperature stitching if I run out of things to do and it'll be in game. No. Not only was I thinking at the time that was super extra and I might not get to it very often, but I don't check temperatures frequently enough. I mean, I check them, but I don't write them down anywhere. So temperature stitching does not work for me. So I've kind of taken a left turn out of the temperature stitching. I will happily watch all of you doing it, but I will not be joining you because that's not how my brain works. I'm doing something else now. Just thought I'd let you know in case you were wondering. But what else have I been getting my hands onto? Like I said, a little bit of everything. It's kind of chaos over here, and let me share with you. First things first, it is not washed, it is not blocked, but it is a knitting finish. It is my How Quiet hat by Curious Handmade. Last year, my partner was giving me had done for me a monthly yarn subscription out of my own yarn. He at the beginning of the year, before the beginning of the year, he went through all of my yarns and he pulled out a skein or so for every single month, and I got to open them throughout the year. It was quite fun. We had tentative plans to do it this year, but it's already the 20th and it hasn't happened, so it's not happening this year, which is fine. But I wanted to show you, this is what I did with December's colorway. This was a yarn by Hazel Knit. It's in her Spark base. I don't think you can see it, but it has a bunch of lurex in it. It's a shiny silver thread held with this dark red base. And I made the How Quiet hat by Curious Handmade. I'd put it on, but then I'd mess up what little hair I have, so I'm not going to. It's lovely. It'll go into my hat pile, and yeah, it's just a nice little beanie type hat. So I have that finished. Just wanted to show it off to you because I did finish it up. Not in December, but December's busy. I did finish almost all my yarns. There was 1 month I didn't do. I did not do November because I am not in a brain space to do the project that actually goes with that yarn. He did not know that. That specific yarn that he chose has a specific lace and bead shawl attached to it. He didn't know that. I am not in the brain space to do that one right now, so I did 11 out of 12. I'm gonna polish my halo giant for that one. And that is that. What else have I gotten my hands on to? Well, I have a lot of things. I'm trying the sewing thing again. If you've been here for a while, you know that Tiger Lily, what's her real name? That's her business. Carrie? Could be Carrie. Tiger Lily Designs. She does a lot of make-alongs. And, sorry, I have a pile of things right there and I was trying to figure out what they are. They're empty bags. Whew. Doing well today. She does make-alongs throughout the year. Different kinds. And she was doing a quilt-along last year that I signed up for, and I purchased the materials because I wanted to learn how to use my sewing machine and not be so intimidated by it. I didn't keep up with it because my sewing machine and I had a violent disagreement, and it didn't work well. I fought with it all the time, and it was very obnoxious, and my husband came in and he knows how to use a sewing machine, and he was all, ooh, no, this has some issues. There was a whole lot of things going on with the bobbin, and anyway, everything went to the side. The holidays showed up, and I was just like, I'm done. Did mention this to some people, and my mother ended up, around Thanksgiving, bringing me up my grandmother's old sewing machine. And then this month, I took it out of the original case that it was still in, and I pulled out the original manual that it still had, and I pulled out the original box of things that it still had, and I started putting it all together and trying to figure out how to use it. One thing I did learn, you're not allowed to wear high heels. According to the manual, you have to wear flat shoes. Yes, that was specifically called out. It kind of made my heart sing in a weird way. You must wear flats. Don't wear your heels when you're sewing. Anyhow, other than fighting with how to make the bobbin, make thread go on the bobbin, which I think is a tension thing, it's a dream to use. Is this why people enjoy sewing? Because it was nice. There was no fighting the machine. It just did the thing, and it did it pretty, and I didn't have to argue with it. I didn't have to. The most difficult part of sewing was getting the fully metal, not quite fully, practically fully metal machine up onto the table, because she's heavy. And yes, I've now gendered my machine. It is a she. And she's going to end up with a name at some point because she's nice and I like her. And I want to make a nice relationship with the sewing machine. It's from like the 60s and been well used. I, as a child, wore clothes that had been made on that machine. My Barbie wore many clothes that were made on that machine. I know I'm trying to make things on that machine, and it's kind of neat. Anyhow, that was a very long way to say I'm not showing you them all. But I've made a couple of the churn dash blocks that were from the Tiger Lily quilt along. I'm finally making the actual squares because the sewing machine does the sewing thing. I'm going to show you two. I realize that my sewing and my cutting are not precise. So when all of this is put together, there will be bits. I will have not have clean tips. I don't know what quilters call that. Some of them will be just fine. Others, yeah, we're gonna have some clipped ends. So I'm gonna show you these two. I have a stack more, but I made these. I made these with a sewing machine. What? I'm now having wild and crazy ideas of making drums and maybe project bags and hold me back, because this is not okay. I do not need another hobby, but that's just kind of adding to the hobby of the stitching that I already do, because project bags for my stitching and drums, what was it? The Possibilities shack on the shore that I made, I want to turn that into a drum. I don't think I should start with that, but I have thoughts, people. I have thoughts, and they're kind of exciting. I wanted to show, I have more than the 2, but I have a tiny little stack of I think I need 30. Nowhere near 30. I'm about a third done. I have about 10 done. And then I have to do other things, and I no longer have access to the Make-Along because it was only up for 2 months. And I no longer have access to it. I downloaded what I could from it, and hopefully I can stumble my way through the rest of that quilt. As for fully turning it into a quilt part, I'm not thinking about that at this stage. Right now I just want to get the squares done and then have a stack of squares and then go, I guess I have to now put this into a top. Quilt top? They're called quilt tops, right? Yes, quilt top. One step at a time. Right now, I'm just happy that she and I are getting along so well. She's a delight. She's neat. I very much like her. She's really strange, though. She has these little wheels, these little plastic wheels that you can put in the back that change what kind of stitches you can do. I ain't touching that. I'm not. She's beautiful, working her single straight stitch seam. I don't want to mess with anything and make her not work anymore, so I'm not touching the weird wheels. No. But she's got weird wheels. I still haven't figured out how to go backwards either. Haven't. Don't need to. It's unnecessary. Forward only. It's all good. You know, that might be more than fog. That might be more than a marine layer. Seems pretty thick. Maybe it's actually clouds. Again, with the temperature stitching thing, I didn't check the news. I look outside and go, oh, what's the weather? Yeah, anyway, let's put that down. So there's that. And now I have a thread on me. That's the other thing I learned. Threads get everywhere when you're sewing. I was covered in them. It was fascinating. I remember Kim commenting that she would get threads everywhere, and wow, she was right. Threads everywhere. It was amazing. I thought orts were bad from stitching. No, sewing is nothing on orts. Threads. Oh my. Let's get to the other things, because I've just spent like 13 minutes on a hobby I barely do and I don't understand. Now let's get into the other craftings that I did. I did some more stitching, and I did some more of the cross stitching, and I did some knitting, and I have nothing finished other than the hat that I showed you and a couple of quilt blocks, which is kind of like it's not even a hoe, because it's not like a sock. It's not like I have half the sock done. It's like, I don't even know, a piece? I don't know what you call a couple of quilt blocks for a quilt. A couple of quilt blocks. Let's get into what I stitched on. I will start with my 100 Stitches a Day project. This is something I'm trying to work on, hopefully for the rest of the year, and maybe actually get this done. It is the word plays by Brenda Gervais. I've had these for ages, and I've only done through March. So, at the beginning of this year, I pulled out April, which was the next one on my list, and I have been putting 100 stitches into this every single day. Give or take. Like, if I'm super close to the end of an area, I just finish it. But since these are such small little bits, that hasn't really happened very often, so it has mostly been about 100 stitches a day. And I am using all of the called for threads, because this was kind of an excuse to buy them all back when I bought them. And what did I learn? Oh, I learned, because I bought all of these a long time ago, and I've been slowly stealing them over time, so I've been slowly putting them back. What color was it? It was walnut. I am very glad that I had 2 ancient skeins of walnut, because the new skein of walnut that I pulled out, because these are my 2 ancient skeins of walnut, it's a different color than the current skeins of walnut. And I have this much on my original skein of walnut. So I was very happy I have another skein that looks exactly the same. Because when I was searching around going, oh, I'm almost out of walnut, not realizing I had found 2 other skeins and went, well, these are 2 different colors, but no, they're not. Because dye lots, people. Dye lots matter. There's kind of a mess over here. I'm trying not to rock your world, because no one needs that. Our worlds are rocked enough right now. Anyhow, here is April. And, oops. That's the strand I'm working on. I'm working on the little wagon that my very fat rabbit is in. I was stitching on that rabbit. I started making his vest here. I'm like, he's a chonker. He is one big bunny. And then I put his pants on and all. He's no tiny little guy. But there we are with April. I am through today. So I will keep doing this 100 stitches a day until I get to the end, and it's looking pretty close. It is looking pretty close. I have to finish the rest of his thing. There's some wheels. There's some doodads in places. There's like a doodad here. There's doodads everywhere, which I'm fine with. But yeah. When I first pulled this out, I was like, oh, it's a spring one, but it doesn't look very springy. And then I realized, yeah, because usually in April it's still muddy. April showers bring May flowers, so hopefully May will be more. But I do have wonderful nasturtiums. Not nasturtiums. Those are narcissus, not nasturtium. Different flower. Daffodil. Let's just call them a daffodil. Lovely daffodils. Though the one that's in his shoulder over here kind of blends in a little bit. You can see it, but it's a little blending. I don't care. Ta-da! Oh, that is my 100 stitches a day project. It is on a 40 count Grog by Stitch Me, just like all of his buddies, and it's 1/2. And I cut the pieces very poorly, because when I first was doing this, finally, taking it all out, measuring it all out, and doing all the things, I mismeasured. I bought enough yardage to cut 12 out, if I'd cut them the right size. As you can see, I didn't. So I had to buy more yardage. Not full yardage is here, but I had to buy more flat fabric. It's a slightly different color too, even though it's the same color, because, again, dye lots. But, weirdly, I don't care. I know, how strange. But the fact that is, I'm not going to be putting those all together at the same place. I'm going to be making, eventually, little pillows, one for each month for my dough bowl, which I do have. Every month I'll have a new one, so they're never going to sit next to each other, so no one will ever know that the fabrics are slightly different. But I have plenty of fabric for turning them into pillows. I really do. So this 100 stitches a day project. What else did I work on? I worked on Thriller. Thriller is my Sunday project. I roll a D4, I times that by 100, and that's what I do on stitch count wise. And the last 2 Sundays, it's rolled a 2. So I put 400 total stitches into Thriller. This is by Sampler Cove. I've been working on this for years. It hibernated for years, and now I'm working on it again. I've gotten a lot of progress on it last year, essentially by doing a random number of stitches every Sunday. And let me show you where I am. This is 1/2 on a 40 count, I have no clue what, using 2 colors of Vicky Clayton silks, one of her Oh My God Reds and her basic black. And I'm working on this part. So I am pretty much exactly halfway done with this portion of this border. So I have these 3 more and that bottom to do. Then I will do a repeat of this part of the border underneath. Oh, and flowers will go in. There's little flowery things that will go between each of these. Then when I'm done with that section, this goes underneath, and then I finish off the border. So I'm getting there. I am definitely getting there. I think by doing this, cat hair. I think by doing this, I will be able to finish it this year. And if I do, I don't know if I'll just grab another project to make my Sunday roll a die piece, or if I will not. I have no clue. But right now, that's what I'm enjoying doing with this one. Made a lot of progress on it when I normally wouldn't have pulled it out. And yeah, it's nice. I enjoy it. It's pretty. Then I have my Motif a Week project living in this lovely bag. And what is my Motif a Week project? That it would be And a Forest Grew by Rosewood Manor. I'm not going to pull everything out because she's got a lot of threads. Look at those. Not even all of them are bobbinated. It's not bobbined, it's floss dropped, but whatever. Not all of them are set because evergreen. Typically I do about one motif every Monday on this one. If they're super small, I do a couple more. And that's what I've done the last 2 weeks. Now, I remember exactly what I did yesterday. I'm not exactly sure what I did the day before. Or Monday before. I believe I did these and the bunny one Monday. And then yesterday I did this one, and that one. So I did the bird and 2 little trees. I have the hole here because this is where the tree is that has the verse in it, which I will be changing. Still know exactly what I want to do. Still have not even attempted to chart it out. But I am loving how this is looking. And all the color changes don't bother me when I'm doing it only one day a week. One motif at a time. Next up, I'm going to be working on, I think this is page 9 or 10. I don't remember what the actual page number is, but I'm going to work on this next to try and get that started to be filled in. So happy. This is on a 40 count Albarium by Cedar River Linen, and I am using all of the called for DMCs because that's kind of the point of And a Forest Grew, is all the little tiny specific details to make a very, very, very pretty forest. One moment. I need to find what I'm looking for next. While I was gone, I was trying to drink some more tea. Evidently forgot how to drink tea and spilled much of it down my front. Yeah, this is the day I'm having. Let me show what else I've been working on. However, I did the 12 by 12. I don't do it in 12 this year again. And I used my Village of Hawkhorn Hollow by Carriage House Samplings for that. So I did an hour in each block. And then for the rest of the year, every month, I will do about 1,000 stitches in each block. And I say about 1,000 because I was waffling last time between doing 1,000 stitches or 1,500 stitches. And a commenter whose name I am blanking on right now gave me the great idea that I should aim for 1,500. Sorry, it got a fluff on me. That I should aim for 1,500. But anything over 1,000 is great because some months can be busy and some months are less busy. So I was like, I love this concept. I'm totally going to do that. I am. So this is Village of Hawkhorn Hollow. I'm doing this with a Vicki Clayton silk conversion, 1/2 on a 40 count Lakeside linen in vintage sand dune? Sand dune. Vintage? Just regular sand dune, not vintage sand dune. I think I've been calling it vintage sand dune. Anyhow, I was working on the first square because it is January and I have done my 1,500 stitches and it will look almost completed. It is so close. I just have the rest of the, what is this called? Water? The rest of the water to fill in and a bunch of back stitches to bake some, I don't know, marsh grasses. Could I have finished it? Yes. But if I continue to, 1,500 stitches got me so close. 2,000 will get me even another 500 and I'll finish it. No. I'm stopping at 1,500 even if I'm close to the end of the square. I have decided that if I reach any finishes, doing square finishes, doing it that way, any leftover stitches from that month, like this square here, which is what? May? I think that's May. Yeah, that would make sense because that would be, this was May. If 1,500 stitches is more than I need to finish the May square, any leftover stitches I will go back to the first unfinished block and put stitches into it until it is used the stitches. That is good. That is how I'm going to do this. And I still have an itchy nose. Here she is as she stands now. And I'm loving her. Look at that lovely block. So close to finishing. I did change the color of the water. The one that was called for was very similar in color to the green hill around it. But I wanted my stream to look like a stream. So I hunted through my stack of Vicky Clayton silks that are for this project and found a blue. And made note. Yes, I remembered. I know. Who am I? Made a note that that was the color that I was using for the river because, yeah, I didn't finish it. So therefore, when I get back to this, possibly in a year, possibly in 4 months, who knows when, I'll know what I was doing. Good job. Currently, futurely, will be very appreciative. But there is the entire piece. I'm enjoying it. It is fun. I have Shores of Hakron Hollow kitted up, and I just need fabric for Halloween at Hakron Hollow. One is with a Vicky Clayton silk conversion, and one is with the NPIs. I think the Hakron Hollow Halloween one is with the NPIs. So I just have to figure out a fabric for that one. I'm not starting it this year, as far as I know, because I want to have this one finished. She's doing quite lovely, and I work on her every single month. Another project that I work on every single month, or will throughout this year, is my Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along Little Acorns. I started it, and then I started really looking at the pattern, then I decided to pull out some tape and scissors, and I have changed what I am doing. I did a little cut and paste for my version of Little Acorns. I have decided that this is the version of Little Acorns that I will be doing. Yes, I literally just took scissors and some washi tape to my cover page. This is my version of Little Acorns. I think it'll be fun. Yes, I took out all the words. Yeah, took out all the words, and then I took out an extra band because it looked funny having that band. Anyway, this is what I've come up with. I do not know how many stitches that took out of the whole piece because Jacob is kind and gives us the number of stitches, and also this is on my pattern keeper. And I haven't marked off those stitches either. I am still going to do this as a goal of 3,000 stitches a month because I wanted to get this done in October. However, I've cut out a bit, so I don't know what that will entail for finishing. It is living in this lovely tea. Those are teas. Ignore the coffee beans that are laying around them. It's a messy tea shop that also occasionally serves coffee. Okay, it's coffee cups, but in my world, they're tea. I'm doing this, it's an Evertote bag, and I am using a floss from Evertote. I am using Pinot Noir, which is this lovely purple-black, red, purple, black gorgeousness that I don't think you're seeing the right color of. Did that help any? I don't think so. In real lighting with real eyeballs, you can see the wonderful variegation that is in Pinot Noir. Oops. This is my current Hank skein. What are these called? Skein? Or am I thinking yarn? Oh, whatever. This is on a 40 count. It's from Cedar River Linen. Did I keep the name? Doesn't look like I did. It is Cedar River linen. Oh, it did. It's just stuck. Salt ash. 40 count, 1/2. And this is where 3,000 stitches progressed me to. I love it. So as you can see, I am just needing to do this bird and branch section over here and then put the 1-line border in. That will be for February and the next border down. Isn't she gorgeous? I love her. She's so pretty. And that is my modern folk embroidery stitch along that I am doing this year. Altered for me. I also worked on one of the 7 pieces that I am trying to focus on finishing. I do not plan to finish them all this year. If that happens, I get to polish like everybody's halo. That's not going to happen. But I pulled out 7 pieces. 7 pieces. 7 pieces. 1 for each year that I still have WIPs. That first one is a large range of years because I wasn't keeping track when I used to stitch. So everything I had as a WIP before I came back to stitching in 2020, I count as a 2019 WIP. They're not from 2019 because I wasn't stitching in 2019, and they're from much years before that, because that's proper English. Much years. This is one of the pieces from that much years ago. Maidens of the Seasons by Mirabilia. This is on a 32 count, or is it 28? I don't remember. It's a 28 or a 32 count Serendipity by Sugar Maple Fabric. And I have finished all the stitching! Oh, all I have left to do is beads! Yes! Is it? Oh, wait. No. I am mostly done with all the stitching. Let me show you what I just... See how there's a border here? There's a grounding thing here. I didn't finish the, what, 15 stitches? Or that right there. Oops. I am almost completely finished with the stitching, and now all I have to do is beads. I'd had, oh no, Skelly down! Oh, Skelly down and a picture. Everything is just falling. I had all of winter done when I pulled her back out. I don't recall if I had all of spring done. I would have to go back to my original WIP parade back in 2020. I know I hadn't done summer because her skin, I did it all over one, and she's got a lot of skin. I mean, she's not mermaid levels of skin, but she's still got a lot of skin. And then lately I've been working on Autumn, so I'm going to give you the close-up of Autumn because she is the one that I just finished. I finally did her 1/1 skin. I was putting it off. And her very weird shaped hands, but you know what? I'm fine with that. Go down her dress with the leaves, with the word Autumn, and the missing line right there. Missing line. But now all I have to do is the beading. I put her away. I'm gonna come back to her in a little bit, but I feel very confident that I will be able to finish this one this year. So not only will I focus on finishing her, she may actually get to a finish. And she's gorgeous. I love her. Even if I did forget that line right there. That's annoying. Isn't she pretty? And yes, that fabric is an opalescent fabric. I think it's 28 count. Then all I have to do is The beads. There might be a couple of beads. One or two. You know this is ancient because I bought some of these beads for $1.20. Can you even get Mill Hill beads for $1.20 anymore? I have no clue. But I did at one point. So now she can go back into the pile of 7. One moment. Poor Skelly. Oh, your seat fell down too? I don't even know where your seat went. Oh, well, we'll just set you right there, Skelly. There you go. You wanna wave? Here, you can wave. Raise your hand. Wave to the people. I have Skelly back. He's waving to the people. But I don't have my little picture up because it keeps falling down. Bummer. I'm gonna have to figure out where to put that. I think I need to organize better. What do you think? Don't answer that question. The answer is obviously yes. I did not work on any of my BAPs, so yeah, we'll get to those. I did, instead of doing temperature stitching, pull out a whip. A lot of people are talking about ABCs, it's 26, 2026, 26 letters in the alphabet, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, instead of doing temperatures, which, you know, I have to prep for, who needs that? Why don't I just start when I have extra time? When I have time and I don't feel like working on one of my regular projects, I'll pull out one of my whips. And I'll start with the A's. So that is what I did. I am working on Across the Miles by Heartstrings Samplery. Here are the lovely threads. I am doing this 1/2 on a 36 count maple bar by Cedar River Linen. It's a Cedar River Linen month, evidently. Not everything I do is on Cedar River Linen, but right now, a lot of them are. Oh, I guess there was some Biz Stitch here too. I got this at the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit in 2024, I think. It was 2024. And then I didn't do much of it. It's a combo stitch between Heartstrings Samplery and Teresa Kogut. I'm going to put them on the same piece of fabric because they have designed a way to do that. I'm starting with this one, ending with this one, because that's the way I stitch. And I pulled it out to work on this border, and this border was a pain in my butt. I had to rip out these leaves so many times. Then I started giving myself little landmarks off the top so that I wouldn't have to rip it out yet again. That is where she stands now. I have that very first border done, this very top one. Now I'm working on these with the berries in between. You can see I was shoving berries in so that I would get my count right. In these sections that are empty, there are little blossoms that go with those leaves and berries. Then I can get down to the fun part, like the trees and the houses. It will sit on this entire piece. I got a lot of stitching in on that because I had barely touched it. And also, I had to restitch those leaves like 3 times. So I got a lot of stitching in on this. There's just no progress from it. I am using the adorable little floss holder that we received. Because there's just enough holes on this thread card for the number of stitches, for the number of colors we need for the stitching. I'm just putting one strand on there in the order they are in on the chart. I'm loving it. That's delightful. But now she's going to go away until who knows when. But she got some good work on her. She got like, I don't remember what she got. She got a lot though. Like 1,000 maybe? I don't remember. And that is all of the cross stitch whips. Let me show you a quick knitting whip and then we'll get into new starts and plans. Living in here is my current sweater. This is Spun Flora by, I want to say Woolen Pine. If I'm wrong, I will place it here. But I think it is Woolen Pine. This is a Colorworks sweater, DK weight. I am using US size 6 needles, 4.0 millimeter. And I am so close to finishing the yoke. See, here's my yoke. So close. So close. Oh my god. I have 2 more rows of color work to finish the chart. Isn't that pretty? Is that not pretty? And then I'll put the collar on. Technically the last step you do, but I never understand why they put that as a last step because you have to try it on. And if your collar isn't already on it and you try it on, it's not going to sit right. So I need to put the collar on it after I finish my 2 rows of color work. Put the collar on it and then I'm going to steam block this baby. Put it on. Yes, it will fit. It's just on tight cords. Put it on. She's going to be so pretty. And then I will see if I'm at a good stopping place for the yoke. And I think I will be. I don't think it'll be too wide either. But I'm trying to guesstimate without a collar or blocking. Don't guesstimate with your sweaters, people. They won't turn out. You might luck out, but I never do. Now, this is where Spun Flora is. And I am loving that. You can see all my floats in the back there. Look! Floats for days! And I'm hoping against hope. I'm playing a little bit of Yarn Chicken due to laziness, not actual Yarn Chicken. Here's my contrast color. This is all I have. Right there. Am I going to get 2 more rounds? There's not a lot of this color needed in the next 2 rounds. Just finishing up this flower bit down here. There's very little. As you can see, it's getting smaller and smaller. I think each section, like the next section, each section only has 3 of this color, and the section after that only has 1 of this color. But you need to carry it because that's how color work works. I do have another skein of this because it looked like I would probably need it when I was looking at the chart and purchasing yarn, preparing. But if I don't need to break into it, that's even better. And it can just be for something else. I don't want to wind it up until I know for sure. So that is why I'm playing a little bit of Yarn Chicken. Just a little bit though. I am very, very close. Oh, she's looking so pretty. I am using Crow and Crescent. Yes, Crow and Crescent yarns in their Triton DK base, which is a 100% superwash merino wool. I am using the colors Void and Fleshwood. Void is the black, and it is a true black. I am into the second ball of black. Here's the second ball for the black. Black yarn while wearing black. It's great. Great contrast here. Can you see the yarn? It's right there. There. Now you can see the yarn. I want to get back to this. I could have finished the 2 rounds yesterday, but it was bedtime. And I chose sleep, which was the right choice. But I was super tempted to just finish those 2 rounds, and then I'd only have to do the collar and the collar and the steaming today. And now that's going to happen tomorrow. Because So that's my knitting. Not bad. And now we can get to the new starts. I am doing a new moon, new start this year. Yes, I am. What does that mean? It means every new moon, I'm going to be having a new start. I went over that in my plans last year. Yes, last year. But since I'm doing specific things, and some people have been choosing to stitch with me, which is awesome. Thank you, Susie. Some are doing it in their own way. Some are choosing the same exact project. Some are choosing a similar project, and some are choosing the designer if they don't already have the project. And that makes me feel like I'm stitching with you at the time I'm stitching mine, which just is a nice and cozy feeling. Definitely a marine layer because it's burning off. Okay. So it was my January start, which was on the 18th, because that was the new moon. I started The Old Winter by Primitive Hare. And I'm using all of the called for, including that fun fabric, which is a 30 count. And it was called White Flakes. I think it's the standard cut, not the large cut. This piece is just slightly too small to fit comfortably in the bag. They're like the same size. I'm just living in a wintry bag, because that made sense to me. Here are my threads. I'm really lazy. I put some washi tape on the back with the number of the DMC and the symbol that is for the color. That's all the colors. Woo-hoo. And now I can show you how far I made it. I don't know when she's going to come back out, but she got a lot of progress. Ta-da! Ah, that's a good start. That is a very good start. I love her. Kind of a creepy deer right now. But I have the deer, the A and the B, and both of the crowns. And because I have the crowns done, I have all of these the two colors used in the crown. They're also used up here in the candle flames. I'm done with those colors, so now I'm just working in the browns and the black. That's all she wrote. I want a cream. Yeah, see? I love it. And yes, I put the large amount of snowflakes down in this corner, which is where the deer's behind will be. But I liked that better than having it this way. I don't know, this just didn't look right to me. So I was like, I don't like the way that looks. I want the candles up with the stars, not with the snowflakes. It's my stitching, so that's what I did. But I love that deer. She's amazing. And yes, I will be putting the date on it because the date actually makes sense for Anne Boleyn, because she died in 1536. She died. That's a nice way of saying she was murdered. She was murdered by her egotistical, arrogant, misogynistic husband. That's how that works. Just saying. That's what happened. Again, with the poor drinking skills here. And that's everything I worked on in the last 2 weeks. You think it was enough? I also have a travel project. I'm working on a pair of socks. Don't know if I got any farther on them though, and I didn't pull them out here to show you. So, I'm calling them travel knitting now, because I used to call it work knitting, but work has been insanely busy, though last Friday it was just normal busy. Hallelujah. It was normal busy. I am fine with normal busy. The crazy chaos we had before was not great. But now things are going to get really interesting. Let's just say working in a yarn store, tariffs are a thing. And potentially no longer being a part of NATO will mean we no longer have trade agreements with the places we get things. And It'll be fine, I'm sure. But let's get into plans, because crafting is good. I have one more start this month. And then I'm also going to show you what my new moon new start is for next month. Though I didn't grab the date. I don't remember if it's the 17th or the 18th or the 19th. It's somewhere in there for February's new moon. But first we're going to start with what I'm starting at the end of the month. Because I finally looked up when Tiger Lily's birthday start is. And it's the last day of the month. And I decided to just go all in with the pink. I'm going all in with it. This is the chart. It's pretty in pinks. I've shown it before. I bought the whole kit. And so because I bought the whole kit, I received this insanity, this pink insanity here, which is a scissor fob. So I now have it attached to some pink scissors. I'm going all in, people. It will be started on 36 count straw. It will be one strand. I've shown the colors before, but they're so pretty. I'm going to show them again. With the thread bling that came, very pink. So I'm gonna go with the pink. I'm going all in with the pink. Those are the threads. And when I say I'm going all in with the pink. I have pink scissors. My bag has pink on it. It's mostly purple, but whatever. I don't have a pink bag. And I have the pinkest of pink. How can I show this off? It's not working. I will use you. I have the pinkest of pink needle minders. So that will be the needle minder I put on my sister Sampler's Pretty in Pink. Isn't she pretty in pink? Isn't she? And yes, that song will probably be stuck in my head the entire time I'm stitching on this, even though I disliked the movie. I liked parts of it. But that dress was atrocious. Should have been burned in a fire. And she should have gone with Ducky. Just saying. Child of the 90s, people. Child of the 80s, too. But that will be my new start. My last new start for January. Unless, this doesn't really count. If I finish this before the end of the month, which I'm bad at counting stitches, and I don't know if I will, but because I don't know if it has 1,000, over 1,000 stitches left on it. I don't know. If it does, then it won't matter. If it doesn't, I will just move on to May. So technically that would be a new start, but it's not because it's the same project-ish. It's in the same project bag. I don't know. It's not going to count in my head as a new start, even if it is. But this definitely counts as a new start. And that will be at the end of the month. Also, I have my living in, I don't know why it's living in this bag. I'm not sure. It's wintry. It's a wintry bag. That might be, or it was open. One of the others. This is my new moon, new start for February. It is Heartstring Sampler's Hope Song. I have, as you can see, everything including the finishing kit, because that's how I bought it. Wherever I bought it. I think it was off the Facebook thing, group thing, that home hand. The one that does the exclusives. I don't remember what it's called. The one that does the exclusives and then tells you you can't sell your own physical objects, which is technically not true. It's a physical object. You can sell a physical object. That's why you're allowed to resell charts that are physical. But they kick you out of the group if you sell things you own. Which you sign up. I mean, you agree with this. You agree with the rules of the group. You agree with the rules of the group, and I did agree with those rules when I signed up. But I do find it ridiculous that they tell you you can't sell things that you own. Digitally, sure. Never sell a digital product. That is illegal. But physical ones, not illegal. Not wrong. You are allowed to. But the group says no, so you don't. Or you'll get kicked out. Anyhow, I just wouldn't buy it if I didn't want to do it. Makes it a lot easier to not resell it if you want to stitch it. And I want to stitch this one. And maybe even fully finish it, because I got everything. But that will be my new moon new start. I'm hoping, since all of the projects I'm picking are not giant, I'll actually be able to finish a couple of them in this year. We'll see. Other ways, I'm going to work on plans. It will be February by the time I get back, because I'll be back in 2 weeks, which means I will have done a few more days on Thriller and a Farce Crew. I will hopefully have done my next 3,000 on Little Acorns and my however much on Village of Hawkran Hollow. I may be somewhere in there because I didn't actually look at the date that I'm filming next, but those are all my monthlies, so I'll be working on those. And the next focus piece that I'm working on, sorry, I've got the hiccups. The next focus piece I'm going to be working on is Jean Reese. If you give me a moment, I'm going to go grab her and show her off. One moment. Never mind. I'm not going to show you Jean Reese because I think she might be in the living room. I can't find her right now, at the very least. Didn't do a super thorough search, but the sun's starting to come out, so I'm leaning so I'm not stripey and in the light. So I'm just gonna lean. Right, so yeah, I thought Jean Reese was over there. She isn't. So I'm guessing she's probably in the living room. Either way, she's what I'm gonna be working on for the next, I don't know how much I feel like doing, for my focus on a finish. And then I don't know what I'll do next. I don't know if I'll move up to my next youngest one or if I'll go back to maidens. I haven't decided how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to rotate through my focus on a finishes for fun and see where I go with it. And this was my skeleton seat. I found it. Yeah, so I'm discombobulated now. I am discombobulated now because I couldn't find her. And now I can't not think about the fact that I can't find her. Annoying. I hopefully also will pull out Middle-earth map and get some work into it. We will see. We will see what the time brings. I definitely will get farther on that because I want to be able to wear that, even if it is a short sleeve DK sweater. But I need to get it finished because I want to start the next ones I have. That's what I need to do. This needs to, just put that down. Right. You know how it is. You do. You lose something and then your brain can't not focus on it, trying to figure out where it went. That's where I'm at right now. So apologies for the whatever it is I'm doing right now. That's that. Basic plans. Lots of knitting, lots and lots of stitching. Enjoying life. It's great. Keeps me from reading the news. Take care of your mental health, people. So let's get into life. I don't know. It's not really doing much. Nothing to say. I'm not very exciting. Pretty boring. Go to work. Watch a few floss tubes. Watching Wednesday again. Because I was going to start the second season, which I still hadn't watched. And I didn't remember much from the first season, so I decided I'd rewatch the first season, so that's what I've been doing. Very exciting. I'm never up to date with any TV shows, so if I'm watching it a year or two after, that's when I get to it. Eventually I'll watch the last season of Stranger Things too. I don't know. I need to get back to my books as well. I am stuck. I don't know why I'm stuck. Oh, I do know why I'm stuck. I'm stuck on Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil because I keep reading it at night. And so I get like half a chapter in and I fall asleep. Yeah. I like the book. I'm enjoying it. But it takes forever to read that way. I will say. It does take a very long time that direction. I have a whole stack of books that I want to read. And now I think what I'm going to do is going to finish cleaning up in here. And then I will film and edit for this to go up tomorrow. And I hope that all of you are doing as well as you can. Take care of your mental health. Drink some water. Go for a walk outside. Go for a mental health care walk, no matter how grumpy it makes you. Get outside, move your body. You'll thank me, even if you just walk around your yard. Or if you're in an apartment up and down the hallway. If you don't want to go outside for whatever reason. Get moving. It can help. Outside if you can. Drink some water. Take care of the mental health. Stretch. We want to use these for the rest of our lives. Do lots of stretches. Keep yourself good. Limber. All that. I hope you enjoy. I hope you're okay. I will see you all in 2 weeks. It will be February. We'll see what I've gotten up to. And take care, everyone. Bye.